Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everybody. Today's talk is about the surface excellence in English language teaching. In today's talk, we are with Mr. Rohani, the founder of kampunginggrissemarang. Hello, Mr. Rohani.
Hello.
How are you today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, I'm great too, thank you. We are so glad to have you here today, Mr. Rohani. Okay, and talking about English, Mr. Rohani. Yeah, English is as a foreign language in Indonesia. Yeah, as a foreign language, of course, English is not used as our daily communication because our daily communication is Indonesia or mostly mother tongue. Well, to help students or learners to improve their English, what qualities should teachers have to help them to foster their English skills, right?
Teachers are models. Students in Indonesia learn English in the classroom from the teachers. So the first thing that teachers have to look at themselves is as models. They provide models of how English is used to the students. So as a teacher, you have to be a good user of English. Then, when you are a good user of English, the second thing that you have to have is the quality of ability to teach. That is pedagogical skill. Number 3, teachers of English have to be able to deal with students. That is to help students facilitate their learning.
Right. So can you say in a very short points that what should teachers have, Mr. Rohani, to help students? The first
command of English, good command of English. Second one is pedagogical skill.
Okay.
And the third one is social skill.
Okay.
Right?
Yes.
Ability to deal with children.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, the first is pedagogical skill, and then Mr. Rohani, pedagogical skill.
Language skill.
Language skill.
Yeah,
yes.
The teachers themselves have to be good user of the language.
All right, so that's the skills or qualities that the teacher should have. Right. What about the environment itself, Mr. Rohani? How to create an English environment so that students can learn English wherever they are?
It's a good question. That we are in Indonesia and people around us do not speak English. And how can we help ourselves to create English-speaking environment? We can use technology. Technology can be very helpful for us. Now in big cities and in major cities, students actually have their gadgets on their hands, and these gadgets can be very useful for them if they can use them properly. Technology, plus teachers, and also commitment from their schools. School commitment is very important because when schools have commitment, then school can help the teacher and the students together to have environment that they need in order to learn best of this language.
Okay. Technology and commitment. What about for students who don't have any sufficient technology? What can they do, or what can the teachers do to help them?
When students have no access to technology, then the role of the teacher becomes very, very significant. Teachers may become the only source of learning when technology is not accessible for students in particular places. So if you teach, for example, in rural area where students have no access to technology and you teach them English, then your students will rely on you.
Yeah.
That is significant role of a teacher is more prevalent in rural areas where technology is not accessible.
All right. So the teacher is the main role model. Is that right?
You can say so.
Oh,
right. Because as you said, when technology is not available, then how can the students actually see and hear the English language is used? Only from the teacher.
All right. What about from the curriculum itself? As we know that in Indonesia itself, that curriculum is always changing time by time. Does the curriculum also support the successful of learning and teaching English?
Curriculum is the design of the instruction. That is how the instruction should be conducted and then the staging, and then also the time allocation, and also the general plan is in the curriculum. If the question is, does the curriculum help it? The answer is, of course, yes, because the teaching practice in the classroom actually is the realization of the curriculum. So curriculum is the reference of the practice in the classroom. When the curriculum actually supports, let's take an example of the time allocation of English language. Yeah, when the curriculum gives sufficient time allocation to English language teaching in the class, of course this policy, written in the curriculum, will help the students. The situation would be different when the time allocated for teaching English is not sufficient. This is going to be unhelpful for the students.
It should be a best practices, right? And what about for the curriculum designer, Mr. Rohani? Is there any words that like tips or any something to pay attention in designing curriculum itself?
Curriculum designers, of course, work based on the current development of the theories of language teaching and language pedagogy. Their vision of what the students will face in the future will influence the way they design the curriculum. It is wise, of course, for the curriculum designer to stick in mind that what the students learn today and what the students will face in the future may be different. So curriculum should be visionary. Curriculum should help the students face their future. Maybe students have to learn something which is not 100% relevant for today, but maybe it's going to be very useful in the future. Curriculum designers have to be sensitive and wise with the need, considering the changes of students' needs for students' future life.
Right, okay. So, as we know that Indonesia is one of, not the only one, right? It's one of the countries which use English as a foreign language. Are there any differences between Indonesia and other countries or other foreign countries in implementing the teachings and learning English itself?
The government policy, in this case regulation from the ministries in different countries, will always influence how curriculum is designed and how curriculum is implemented in the classroom. The answer to that question is differences will be greatly influenced by different policies. When policies from countries in Indonesia, for example, we see changes in curriculum. We have witnessed 1975 and then 1984 and then 1994 and then we have the 2006 and 2013. Those curriculums change the way actually we deliver the lesson in the classroom. So different countries may have different vision of the future of their nation and then set up different rules in order to prepare their generation.
Okay, let's talk about curriculum at school. What about for the family environment? What can the parents do to help their children?
Parents can always help their children by providing motivation, facilities that they can afford.
Alright, so facilitates, the parents can facilitate the children in learning English. Well, before we end our talk today, Mr. Rohani, are there some points to deliver to the our audience, our beloved audience who are learning English right now?
Learning English is an effort, and this effort will be facilitated with the collaborative efforts from all parties involved in this efforts: the students, the parents, schools, teachers, and policymakers. When they work together for one vision to prepare our generation, then this effort would be facilitated. All parties concerned with this effort should pay careful and serious attention that learning English in Indonesia is an investment for the future generation of our nation.
Right. Oh well, Mr. Rohani, would you please give any motivational words for students who are learning English right now, so they keep practicing English?
Students who are now learning English, the time, the energy that you spend would be very beneficial for you in the future. Maybe you don't have any immediate need of English for today, but later you will need English for your further studies and also for your career. Even so, if your English is good today, then you will be outstanding because you can access to information, you can access to knowledge, you can access to information that would bridge you to new knowledge and skills, and that is a great investment for your brighter future.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Rohani, for your time. Thank you for coming.
My pleasure.
Yeah, we get a very great information and very useful information about English. Well, before we end our talk today, remember that maybe we are not we don't use English right now, but maybe for the future we really need English. Let's master English together. Let's master English together for a better future. Okay, thank you, Mr. Rohani, for your coming today. Thank you. See you in the next talk. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.